are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction cause you hold the power.
Hi there. Now that markets are very high and very frothy, everyone and their grandmother are throwing their hard-earned cash into the markets.
Doomed! Doomed!
What am I doing? Well, let's first establish if my thesis is even right. Is the market, as a whole, getting way ahead of itself? Or is it just because we hit a new revolution with the AI? Let's look at a few indicators. Let's take a look at the S&P price to earnings. It's a bit over 31. Well, that's not all-time high. But it's only been higher in very dire situations. The historical average is around 20 PE, and I usually consider the market as low when it's below 15. What about the Buffett indicator? The Buffett indicator, aka the Buffett index or the Buffett ratio, is the ratio of the total United States stock market divided by GDP. At the time of making this video, it was a whopping 220%. That's 2.2 times the normal and significantly overvalued. So maybe there is a point in markets being overvalued. Historically looking, we're at dangerous levels right now. Let's just look at one more, the Shiller PE. The Shiller PE, or CAPE ratio, cyclical adjusted price to earnings. It's a valuation metric which divides the current stock market price by a 10-year average and is inflation adjusted. It helps us to determine if the market is over or undervalued by smoothing out short-term economic cycles. And what do you know? The Shiller PE is at an alarming 40. Only one time in history has it been over 40, and that was in the dot-com bubble. My greatest problem, though, is that people are not even taking it serious. The fear and greed index is not even registering any type of fear. And European investors are actually pulling a lot of money out of the US stock market, and even US institutional investors are beginning to hold back. But retail investors, we're all dreaming of the great AI returns and we're piling money in. At least that's my take. I think that's the reason gold is doing so well, as some of the smart money are actually in fear of a market crash and are hedging with gold. But what am I doing? Well, people who know me will say, well, you're investing the same amount every month. Actually, for me it's every quarter, but no matter what the market is doing. And yes, that is my advice for investors who are very risk averse and who want a portfolio with almost no interaction from them. Invest regularly in an index of your choice. But I will also acknowledge that I know the statistics and have shown it in several of my videos. You can actually gain extra percent with a well-timed approach. And should you be so lucky to have cash during a market crash, you can also create enormous gains, like I did back during COVID. Remember my video on when markets statistically over the last 50 years have dropped? As you can see on the graph, there is empirical data showing when the markets statistically drop. And before you start in the comment section about losing more waiting for the drop, etc., I know, and I actually have calculated that and taken that into advisement. In the video I show, I have done that. Maybe watch that video next, I will link to it in the end of this video. So, what am I doing right now?
Raise your hand if you want to get rich.
Well, my portfolio, which is the one I show on this channel, is up around 64% in 1 year. That's awesome! But I'm also very aware that this could very well drop at least 15% in a short time. My guess, it's going to happen around December. So when statistics tell me I have a 70% chance of markets dropping anywhere from 10 to 30% this year, am I investing as I usually do? Or am I staying cash heavy for a small period? As I usually only invest in the 4 specific months, I'm already kind of cash heavy. Most of my investments are in either the S&P or the Nasdaq, and therefore I invest in February, June, September and December. So see my video on how to actually time the market. So what's my point?
Probably just looking for attention.
I'm staying cash heavy until December, or at least until I see a correction of some sort. I have around 7% in cash right now, that's around $50,000, and that amount can actually make an impact, if invested at the right moment, which for me means I will split it in 5 timed buys over 2 to 3 months if we experience a crash. But remember, if you do want to invest in single stocks, there is always a deal waiting for you. Just look at Warren Buffett buying Occidental Chemical. Or look at some of the European giants which have been hit by the Trump tariffs and tantrums. Like Novo, the medical company stock is down over 50% in 1 year. Whoa! But looking at the financials, Novo does really well. And they have even begun a massive restructuring and starting a journey to become more efficient. This will hit the books in around 1 year. And now, with the great Wegovy success becoming an even better product with the pill version, so people no longer need injection but just can take a pill, this will boost the sales worldwide, trust me. In one of my portfolios, I started a position of Novo at around $50 a share, and I'll bet you anything that this will increase at least 50% within 2 years. How about Maersk, the great Danish shipping giant? I bought it when the tariff discussion started, and I got my shares at around $1,500 a share. And I got the 10% dividend too. So already here I got my returns, and now the stock is at a bit of a $2,000 I think, which means I got 10% in dividend plus 34% in gains, giving me 44% gain in just 1 year. And this giant will definitely come back to its former glory. When this tariff show ends and everybody knows what the new rules are, they will recover, and even if not, I still got my dividends. So these 2 examples were just to show you that even with the market being very frothy and all the retail investors pouring in, there are still deals out there. But back to my real point of the video.
Here we go again!
One thing that's 100% sure is, if you hit the like button, I will be very happy. It will help others see my videos, and if you also subscribe, that would make me ecstatic. No, the real point is actually, whatever the market does, you need to have a plan and be prepared to execute it.
I have a plan.
Don't get FOMO, don't listen to others. Ironically, I know. Stick to your plan and stay the course. All the people screaming about their losses back in the beginning of the tariff show, they are now screaming about the value of their portfolio. A lot of them don't realize they most probably will get punched in the face coming December, or maybe a little bit later. The punch is going to come. And if they keep investing in new shiny things, they will get crushed eventually. So the advice for myself, get out of hyped up stocks and get ready to buy the dip, and maybe start looking at the winners of tomorrow, the ones that have fallen out of grace at this moment, but will perform very well in the future. At the moment I'm concentrating on my dividend portfolio, and if we get a pullback, correction or crash, I will end up having a dividend yield of almost 20% on that portfolio. This will give me around $1,900 every month in dividends. So I'm accumulating cash for December. I also have to buy Christmas presents, and undervalued stocks are my own present. On that note, I'll end the video. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I hope you got some value, and remember, the best investment you can do is in you. The more you learn, the more you earn. Bye!
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the night inning. There ain't no point in resisting.